So I'm here with Mike Artinian, and Mike Artinian is a partner at Bridgford, Gleason Artinian, who specialize in wildfires. So Mike, let's talk a little bit about what is a wildfire litigation and what does this process look like?
Yeah, so the wildfire cases we prosecute are usually against the utility company, and the reason for that is oftentimes a wildfire is caused by utility lines. And so we pursue the utility on a number of causes of action, including inverse condemnation, which is like a strict liability cause of action, negligence, and a number of other causes of action. And we file in court, and it's a litigation process against the defendants.
Time like this, obviously people are struggling financially. How does your firm handle the costs in the risk of taking legal action to an individual?
Yeah, we understand that our clients are struggling financially right after a wildfire. So when we sign up a client, we advance all the litigation costs from day one. And we don't recoup those costs unless we recover for the
So
client.
if I sign up, I'm not paying one penny to Bridgford, Gleason Artinian to get my claim moving along.
Zero. The clients pay zero out of pocket. And our fee is a modest 25% fee.
Mm-hmm.
We were one of the first to reduce our fees down to 25% from the normal 33% to 40%. So at 25%, and us advancing and taking on the risk of the litigation costs, it's zero money upfront out of the client's pocket.
Now, I know that you hear this a lot, and people want to know, who caused this? How did this happen? What is your answer to that when people ask you that question?
Well, we've got a slew of experts that we employ, and we very quickly usually get to the root of the cause of a wildfire. And that's why we're able to pursue the case against the utility a lot quicker than even the authorities come out with wildfire investigation reports.
So, who has a wildfire claim? People ask that question all the time. Who has it? What do they look like? To what extent are wildfire claims?
Yeah, so anybody who's affected by a fire, it has a wildfire claim. That includes people who have homes that burn down. That includes people whose homes have smoke and ash damage. And it includes people who were required to evacuate due to the wildfire.
Now, what's the difference between joining a mass litigation and filing an individual lawsuit? Because this is a mass litigation. Explain the difference between those.
Yeah, so a mass litigation is actually an individual lawsuit. So the difference is that it just affects many people, here thousands of people. And so everybody in a mass action actually is an individual plaintiff in the case. It's just that we have hundreds, thousands of people that are named as individual plaintiffs.
What are the biggest legal challenges in a wildfire case?
Well, there's two phases to every litigation. One is the liability phase. The other phase is damages or resolution. We have to develop the evidence by way of depositions, written discovery, subpoenas, experts, to make sure that we have enough evidence to go to trial and prove liability. The second phase is damages or resolution. More times than not, when we're suing a utility, we actually are able to get the utility to enter into a resolution protocol prior to trial. And that's good for everybody because that means payouts happen sooner than going to a damages trial.
Now, I'm sure the question you get a lot is, why does this take so long?
It depends on SCE or the other utility that we pursue. It really depends on how hard they fight and how long they fight and how quickly we can get a judge to set a trial date. We have a saying, nothing settles a case like a trial date. So as soon as we get a trial date set, history shows us that the utility will usually come to the table and want to enter into a resolution protocol, because you can imagine a utility doesn't want to go to a trial on liability in front of a bunch of homeowners and renters whose homes they burned down.
Some people are hesitant to get into litigation, to sue. What do you say to people who may not feel right or are hesitant about it?
Well, the way we look at this is every plaintiff who is affected by a wildfire caused by a utility deserves representation and has a claim and has a right to pursue remedies for that claim. I haven't met a wildfire victim who has had adequate insurance to rebuild. They need to pursue as much compensation as they can to be made whole. And on top of that, the non-economic damages, the emotional distress, the nuisance, the annoyance that these people have to go through for a period of 2 to 5 years, that's compensable, and that's what we go after.
Mike, thank you again for spending the time with me to break down a very complicated process and simplifying it for a lot of people. Really appreciate it. So if people are watching this and they want to get some information, how do they get a hold of you, the firm? What action should they take?
There's a number of ways they can get a hold of us. One is our website, bridgfordlaw.com. We have our phone number that they can contact us anytime. We will get back to them right away by email. And most importantly, we like to meet our clients.
Yeah.
So we hold town halls on a weekly basis. We hold these town halls so we can provide information to people whether or not they sign up with us. So we can make sure that our clients are well informed, because many of them are very intelligent and they do their due diligence and they want to come find out who's going to represent them in probably the biggest lawsuit of their lives.